For many, Stardew Valley is a tranquil escape, a pixelated paradise where the rhythm of farming, fishing, and foraging soothes the soul. It's a place of simple pleasures, community bonds, and the quiet satisfaction of a life lived close to the earth. But beneath this idyllic surface, beyond the charming villagers and the endless cycle of seasons, lies a world far richer and more complex than first meets the eye. Stardew Valley is not merely a game. It is a tapestry woven with threads of ancient myths, forgotten histories, and subtle conflicts that shape its very essence. In this comprehensive exploration, we will peel back the layers of Stardew Valley, delving into its profound lore and unraveling its most intriguing mysteries. From the cosmic origins whispered in ancient texts to the subterranean struggles of forgotten races, and from the magical forces that permeate the land to the very human dramas unfolding in Pelican Town, we will treat this vibrant world as a legitimate subject of historical and anthropological study. Our journey will connect the dots, reveal hidden interconnections, and even venture into well-reasoned speculation about the unexplained. Our expedition begins at the very dawn of time, exploring the ancient foundations upon which Stardew Valley was built. We will uncover the creation myths that define its spiritual landscape, examine the echoes of distant wars that still resonate in its present, and piece together the fragmented history of civilizations that existed long before the farmer arrived. At the heart of Stardew Valley's spiritual framework lies the enigmatic figure of Yoba, an ancient guardian deity whose influence permeates the very fabric of existence. Yoba is not merely a god. Yoba is the primordial force of creation, the architect of the world as it is known. Our primary insight into this mysterious entity comes from the Book of Yoba, a rare and revered text that, once discovered and donated to the Pelican Town Museum, unveils a profound creation myth. This ancient text describes Yoba swirling and smoothing light until it coalesced into the very soil beneath our feet, then planting a seed that, after 11 days, bore fruit. This narrative positions Yoba as the ultimate life-giver, the source of all growth and sustenance in the valley. The 11 days mentioned are often interpreted as a symbolic representation of the natural cycles of growth and renewal, mirroring the very agricultural rhythm that defines life in Stardew Valley. The reverence for Yoba is not confined to ancient texts. It is a living tradition within Pelican Town. Every Sunday, devout villagers gather at the humble shrine of Yoba within Pierre's general store, seeking solace, guidance, and a connection to the divine. For many, Yoba is a source of comfort during times of hardship, a benevolent presence associated with both life and the peaceful transition of death. Characters like George and Evelyn, deeply rooted in the valley's traditions, often speak of Yoba with quiet faith, demonstrating how this ancient mythology continues to shape their worldview and provide spiritual grounding. Beyond the spiritual, Yoba's presence is also felt in tangible ways. The Yoba's ring, an in-game item, offers protection, further solidifying the deity's role as a guardian. While the full extent of Yoba's power and true form remain shrouded in mystery, is Yoba a cosmic gardener, a spiritual symbol, or something more? The consistent portrayal is one of a benevolent foundational force. The mythology of Yoba underpins the valley's very existence, providing a creation story that resonates with the cycles of nature and the enduring spirit of its inhabitants. It's a testament to the idea that even in a world of simple farming, there are profound, ancient beliefs that shape destiny and provide meaning. While Stardew Valley presents an image of pastoral tranquility, the broader world it inhabits is far from peaceful. The Ferngill Republic, the nation in which Pelican Town and the valley reside, is locked in a brutal, ongoing conflict with the distant Gotoro Empire. This war, though often relegated to background whispers and subtle cues, profoundly shapes the political landscape and casts a long shadow over the lives of many. The most poignant manifestation of this conflict is seen in characters like Kent, a former soldier who returns to Pelican Town, deeply scarred by his experiences. His dialogue reveals the psychological toll of war, his struggle with PTSD, his aversion to certain foods like sashimi due to wartime memories, and his general unease. Kent's presence serves as a constant, stark reminder that even in this seemingly isolated haven, the echoes of a distant war can shatter peace and leave indelible marks on individuals and families. The war is not just a personal tragedy for Kent. It's a geopolitical reality that influences the valley, albeit indirectly. The Gotoro Empire is located across the vast Gem Sea, a geographical detail that emphasizes the scale of the conflict. While direct economic impacts on Pelican Town are rarely explicit, the very existence of such a large-scale war suggests broader implications for trade, resources, and the overall stability of the region. The conflict underscores the fragility of peace and the ever-present threat of external forces. The war has also fueled various fan theories, adding layers of speculative lore. Some suggest that the entire game, with its idyllic setting, might be a coping mechanism or a dream for the player character, perhaps a veteran seeking refuge from the horrors of the conflict. Others ponder the true outcome of the war, or whether the Ferngill Republic ultimately lost, making the valley a nostalgic memory rather than a present reality. While these remain theories, they highlight the depth of engagement players have with this subtle yet significant piece of lore. The Gotoro-Ferngill War serves as a vital counterpoint to the valley's tranquility, reminding us that even the most peaceful retreats exist within a larger, often turbulent world. Before the familiar faces of Pelican Town, before the war-torn landscapes of the Ferngill Republic, and even before the very concept of Yoba was formalized into myth, Stardew Valley was home to civilizations lost to time. The remnants of these pre-civilization eras are not found in grand ruins or crumbling temples, but in the quiet dignity of the Pelican Town Museum, where each artifact whispers tales of a forgotten past. Curator Gunther's collection is a treasure trove of clues. The ancient seed, for instance, hints at agricultural practices far predating modern farming, suggesting a deep connection between these early inhabitants and the land's fertility. Other artifacts, such as the ancient sword or ancient drum, paint a picture of societies with their own forms of warfare, music, and daily life. Perhaps most intriguing are the ancient anchor and other sea-related artifacts, which suggest that these early peoples were not confined to the valley's interior, but possessed maritime capabilities, hinting at coastal settlements or extensive trade routes across the Gem Sea. While direct historical accounts from this period are non-existent, the sheer variety and sophistication of these unearthed items imply a rich and complex past. These were not merely nomadic tribes, but organized societies with distinct cultures, technologies, and possibly even spiritual beliefs that predate the Yoba mythology. The presence of advanced dwarven technology, which we will explore further, also suggests a potential overlap or interaction between these early human-like civilizations and other ancient non-human inhabitants. The precise connection between these ancient peoples and the valley's inherent magical elements, the Junimos, the wizard's arcane knowledge, or even the very energy that pulses through the mines, remains largely speculative. Were they attuned to these forces? Did they harness them? Or were they simply living in harmony with a magic they didn't fully comprehend? What is clear is that the Stardew Valley we know today is built upon layers of forgotten history, a testament to the enduring presence of life and civilization in this fertile land. Each artifact is a breadcrumb, leading us deeper into the valley's mysterious origins, setting the stage for the magical and subterranean secrets yet to be uncovered. Our journey now descends beneath the tranquil surface of Stardew Valley, into a realm of ancient tunnels, hidden caverns, and mysteries that predate human memory. The underground world is not merely a source of minerals, it is a living archive, holding the secrets of civilizations that thrived in perpetual darkness. At the heart of these subterranean enigmas lies the dwarf, a solitary figure whose very existence challenges our understanding of the valley's history. Deep within the mines, accessible only after breaking a formidable rock barrier, resides the dwarf. This reclusive merchant speaks a language unintelligible to the player until the acquisition of the Dwarvish Translation Guide, a key item that unlocks a wealth of lore. The dwarf's presence, coupled with the advanced artifacts found throughout the mines, from the intricate dwarvish gadget to the surprisingly modern-looking dwarvish computer, a fan theory based on an artifact's appearance, has given rise to one of Stardew Valley's most compelling and speculative theories, that the dwarves are not native to this world. The theory posits that the dwarves are, in fact, extraterrestrial beings whose spacecraft crash-landed deep beneath the valley, forcing them to adapt to a subterranean existence. This dramatic origin story finds its roots in several observations: their unique physiology, their advanced yet seemingly out-of-place technology, and their deep-seated knowledge of the Earth's core. Unlike the more organic, nature-bound magic of Themos, dwarven technology often appears mechanical and sophisticated, hinting at a different kind of scientific advancement. Their forced adaptation to underground life would have profoundly shaped their civilization. Deprived of sunlight, they would have developed unique senses and a reliance on their advanced tools for survival and prosperity. The vast network of mines, with its rich veins of ore and precious gems, would have become their new home and resource hub, explaining their deep connection to mining. This theory also provides a compelling backdrop for their historical conflict with the Shadow People, a war over territory and resources in the dark depths of the earth. The dwarfs' isolation, their ancient grievances, and their reliance on technology all paint a picture of a once great civilization, now reduced to a solitary merchant, guarding the remnants of a cosmic past. The subterranean world of Stardew Valley is not merely a realm of geological wonders. It is a battleground scarred by a 1,000-year conflict known as the Elemental Wars. This ancient, brutal struggle pitted the technologically advanced dwarves against the enigmatic Shadow People, leaving a legacy of animosity that persists to this day. The origins of this devastating war are shrouded in conflicting narratives. The dwarf, encountered in the mines, claims that the conflict began when the Shadow People drove his ancestors from their ancestral homes. Conversely, Krobus, the friendly shadow person residing in the sewers, asserts that the dwarves were the aggressors, attempting to drive his people from their homes. This fundamental disagreement highlights the subjective nature of history and the enduring bitterness of ancient conflicts. The war was likely fought over territory and resources within the vast underground network. The mines, with their rich deposits of ore and gems, would have been a prime strategic location. The presence of various elemental monsters throughout the mines, slimes, bats, and rock crabs, suggests that these creatures might have been either allies or manifestations of the warring factions, or perhaps even the result of the magical and technological energies unleashed during the conflict. The term elemental wars itself hints at a struggle that involved not just physical combat, but also the manipulation of natural forces. The lasting implications of this war are evident in the deep-seated animosity between the dwarf and Krobus. Despite the passage of centuries, their peoples remain estranged, their interactions limited to wary glances and terse exchanges. The player, however, has the unique opportunity to bridge this ancient divide by fostering friendship with both characters, symbolizing the potential for reconciliation and understanding even after millennia of conflict. This ancient war serves as a powerful reminder that even in a world of magic and fantasy, the echoes of historical grievances can resonate for generations, shaping relationships and landscapes. The act of mining in Stardew Valley is more than just a gameplay mechanic. It is a direct engagement with the valley's deep history, a physical connection to the ancient peoples and conflicts that shaped its subterranean world. The mines themselves are a living archaeological site, each level revealing new layers of geological and historical significance. The presence of various artifacts, minerals, and monster types at different depths tells a story of geological formation and the evolution of subterranean life. The deeper levels, with their more exotic ores and dangerous creatures, suggest older, more primal energies at play. The discovery of ancient tools and relics, particularly those associated with the dwarves and the pre-civilization era, directly links the player's mining activities to the historical narratives of these forgotten civilizations. The very structure of the mines, with their intricate pathways and hidden chambers, hints at deliberate construction or modification by intelligent beings. While natural geological processes undoubtedly played a role, the organized layout and the presence of specific biomes, like the frozen levels or the lava-filled areas, suggest a history of habitation and perhaps even engineering by the dwarves or other ancient subterranean inhabitants. The constant presence of monsters also implies a long-standing ecosystem, perhaps one that has adapted to the presence of miners and adventurers over millennia. Furthermore, the mining process itself, with its inherent risks and rewards, mirrors the struggles of these ancient peoples. The need to overcome obstacles, to extract valuable resources, and to contend with dangerous inhabitants reflects the challenges faced by the Dwarves and Shadow People in their quest for survival and dominance underground. The player's journey through the mines is, in essence, a reenactment of these ancient struggles, a symbolic continuation of the valley's long and arduous mining history. It underscores the idea that the resources extracted from the earth are not merely commodities, but tangible links to a rich and often tumultuous past. Among the most enchanting and mysterious inhabitants of Stardew Valley are the Junimos, small apple-shaped forest spirits whose benevolent presence is intrinsically linked to the valley's magical essence. Their true nature and origins are shrouded in myth, but their actions, particularly in the restoration of the community center, reveal a profound connection to ancient magic and the well-being of the land. The Junimos are believed to be nature spirits, manifestations of the valley's inherent magic. Their name, derived from the word Junimo, is derived from the word Junim, meaning little friend, in the ancient language of the forest. They are typically shy and only reveal themselves to those who possess a pure heart or a deep connection to nature, such as the player and the wizard. Their most significant role in the game is their ability to restore the dilapidated community center. Through the collection of various bundles, the Junimos magically repair and revitalize the building, transforming it from a symbol of neglect into a vibrant hub of community life. This act of restoration is not merely a physical repair, it is a magical act of healing, suggesting that the Junimos are guardians of the valley's spiritual health and its natural balance. Their magic is subtle, often manifesting as a gentle glow or a quick, unseen movement, emphasizing their ethereal and elusive nature. The Junimos' connection to ancient magic is further hinted at by their presence in the witch's hut, where a Junimo statue can be found, and their ability to build Junimo huts on the player's farm, where they help harvest crops. This suggests a long-standing relationship with the magical elements of the valley, and perhaps even a deeper, more complex history that predates human settlement. Their true nature remains a delightful mystery, but their actions consistently portray them as benevolent, industrious, and deeply intertwined with the magical life force of Stardew Valley. They are the quiet custodians of the valley's magic, working tirelessly to restore harmony and foster growth. The enigmatic wizard, M. Rasmodius, is the primary conduit to the magical undercurrents of Stardew Valley. Residing in his secluded tower in the Cindersap Forest, he is a master of arcane arts, possessing a vast knowledge of ancient spells, magical creatures, and the valley's hidden energies. His presence confirms that magic is not merely a whimsical element, but a fundamental force within the game world. The wizard's role extends beyond being a mere purveyor of magical goods. He is a guardian of the valley's magical balance, often intervening when dark forces threaten its tranquility. His ability to create magical buildings on the player's farm, such as the Junimo Hut and the Shrine of Illusions, demonstrates his profound control over arcane energies. He is also the one who provides the player with the Witch's Hut access, further solidifying his connection to the more mysterious and sometimes darker aspects of the valley's magic. His backstory is hinted at through various dialogue snippets and interactions. He was once married to the witch, a powerful sorceress with whom he had a tumultuous relationship. This past connection suggests a history of powerful magical duels, and perhaps even a shared responsibility for some of the valley's more volatile magical phenomena. Furthermore, a popular fan theory, supported by in-game dialogue and character appearances, suggests that Abigail is his daughter, adding a layer of personal drama and familial connection to his otherwise reclusive life. The wizard's knowledge of the Junimos and his ability to translate their language further emphasizes his deep understanding of the valley's ancient magic. He acts as a bridge between the mundane world of Pelican Town and the mystical realm of spirits and spells. His constant research and his willingness to share his knowledge with the player position him as a mentor figure, guiding the player through the more esoteric aspects of Stardew Valley's lore. He is a constant reminder that beneath the surface of everyday life, powerful magical forces are at play, shaping destinies and influencing the very fabric of the world. Among the most fascinating and misunderstood inhabitants of Stardew Valley are the Shadow People, and their most prominent representative, Krobus. These dark, amorphous beings are often depicted as monsters in the mines, but Krobus's presence in the sewers reveals a more complex and nuanced truth about their society and culture. Krobus is a friendly shadow person who sells rare goods in the sewers, accessible only after obtaining the rusty key. Unlike the hostile shadow brutes encountered in the mines, Krobus is peaceful, articulate, and even expresses a desire for friendship. His existence challenges the player's preconceived notions about monsters, forcing a re-evaluation of the long-standing conflict between the dwarves and the shadow people. Krobus provides a crucial perspective on the elemental wars, the ancient conflict that pitted his people against the dwarves. While the dwarf claims his ancestors were driven from their homes, Krobus asserts that the dwarves were the aggressors, attempting to drive his people out. This conflicting narrative highlights the subjective nature of historical accounts and the enduring bitterness of ancient grievances. Krobus's willingness to live peacefully among humans, despite the historical animosity, makes him a unique figure, symbolizing the potential for reconciliation and understanding. His society, as hinted at through his dialogue, is one that values community and perhaps even a form of spiritual connection to the darkness. They are sensitive to light, which explains their subterranean existence. Krobus's isolation in the sewers, away from both his own kind, who are mostly hostile, and the surface dwellers, underscores his unique position as an outcast seeking peace. His relationship with the player, which can develop into a roommate situation, further breaks down barriers and fosters interspecies understanding. Krobus and the Shadow People represent the hidden depths of Stardew Valley's lore, reminding players that not all that appears monstrous is evil, and that even in the darkest corners, friendship and understanding can flourish. Their story adds a layer of moral complexity to the game, inviting players to question assumptions and embrace empathy, even towards those who have been historically demonized. Having explored the ancient myths, subterranean secrets, and magical forces that underpin Stardew Valley, we now turn our attention to the more immediate, yet equally profound conflicts that shape its present. The valley, despite its tranquil facade, is a microcosm of broader societal struggles, particularly the clash between tradition and modernization, most vividly embodied in the corporate war between Pierre's General Store and Jojamart. This conflict is more than just a business rivalry. It's a philosophical battle for the soul of Pelican Town. On one side stands Pierre, the earnest proprietor of Pierre's General Store, a bastion of local commerce and community spirit. On the other, Morris, the slick manager of Jojamart, a branch of the monolithic Joja Corporation, representing the impersonal, profit-driven forces of modern capitalism. Jojamart, the player's former employer, embodies the allure of convenience and low prices, Morris genuinely believes that Joja will usher in a new era of prosperity for the Ferngill Republic, even if it means sacrificing local charm and community bonds. His aggressive marketing tactics and the infamous Joja Community Development Form, which allows players to buy town upgrades rather than earn them through collective effort, highlight the corporation's transactional approach to progress. This path, while efficient, bypasses the very essence of community building that defines Stardew Valley. Pierre's General Store, in contrast, is more than just a shop. It's a community hub. It's where villagers gather, exchange gossip, and find locally sourced goods. Pierre, as a small business owner, struggles to compete with Jojamart's pricing and scale, symbolizing the plight of traditional enterprises against corporate giants. His fight is not just for his livelihood, but for the preservation of a way of life, a community where personal connections and shared values outweigh pure economic efficiency. The player's choice in this corporate war is perhaps the most impactful decision in the game. By choosing to restore the community center through the Junimo bundles, the player actively supports Pierre and the traditional values of Pelican Town. This path, though requiring more effort and time, ultimately leads to the closure of Jojamart, symbolizing the triumph of community over corporate greed. Conversely, opting for the Jojamart membership and purchasing upgrades through their development form signifies an embrace of modernization and convenience, albeit at the cost of the Valley's unique character. This corporate war serves as a powerful commentary on contemporary societal issues, the decline of local economies, the impact of consumerism, and the enduring importance of community bonds. It forces players to confront the tension between convenience and sustainability, and to consider how individual choices can profoundly shape the collective well-being and identity of a place. It's a subtle yet profound narrative, woven into the fabric of daily life in Stardew Valley. The community center, initially a crumbling relic in the heart of Pelican Town, is far more than just a building. It is a profound symbol, a living monument to the Valley's past, present, and future. Its journey from disrepair to vibrant renewal encapsulates the very essence of Stardew Valley's narrative, the enduring power of community and the subtle presence of ancient magic. Before its decay, the community center served as the undisputed heart of Pelican Town. It was the central gathering place, a nexus for social interaction, town meetings, and celebrations. Its decline mirrored the creeping influence of Jojamart and the gradual erosion of traditional community bonds. The building's physical state became a visual metaphor for the town's spiritual health, a silent testament to what was being lost in the march towards modernization. What makes the community center's significance truly unique is its deep, almost mystical connection to the Junimos. These ancient forest spirits, as we've discussed, are the catalysts for its restoration. Their involvement imbues the building with a profound magical and historical weight. It suggests that the community center, or at least its location, has always been a place of natural energy and spiritual importance, attracting these benevolent entities. The Junimo's ability to magically repair and revitalize the structure hints at an ancient magic that predates current human settlements, linking the building to the Valley's primordial magical forces. The visual transformation of the community center is one of the most powerful pieces of storytelling in Stardew Valley. From a neglected ruin, it blossoms into a vibrant, bustling hub, filled with life, laughter, and renewed purpose. This metamorphosis is not just an aesthetic change. It represents the triumph of collective effort, the rekindling of community spirit, and the reassertion of traditional values over corporate influence. It's a tangible manifestation of the player's impact, a symbol that choosing community and cooperation can lead to profound and lasting positive change. In essence, the community center's historical significance lies in its embodiment of Pelican Town's past communal spirit, its role as a battleground in the corporate war, and its deep, albeit subtle, connection to the ancient magical forces of Stardew Valley. It stands as a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the face of modern challenges, the heart of a community can be restored, revitalized, and made to flourish once more. Beyond the grand narratives of ancient wars and corporate battles, the lore of Stardew Valley is deeply enriched by the personal histories of its inhabitants. Each villager, with their unique struggles and aspirations, serves as a microcosm of the larger themes at play, particularly the ongoing dialogue between tradition and modernization, and the impact of societal shifts on individual lives. Some characters firmly anchor themselves in tradition. George, the elderly, wheelchair-bound resident, often vocalizes his disdain for modern conveniences and his longing for the good old days. His resistance to change and his preference for established routines make him a clear embodiment of the valley's traditional past. His wife, Evelyn, complements this, representing the nurturing, community-oriented spirit of rural life. Her love for gardening, her warm demeanor, and her role as a grandmother figure reinforce the importance of family, simple pleasures, and the enduring values of the land. Even Mayor Lewis, despite his occasional vanity, strives to preserve the town's traditional charm. His efforts to restore the community center and organize town festivals reflect a deep-seated desire to maintain the valley's heritage, even as he navigates the pressures of a changing world. Other villagers find themselves caught in the liminal space between tradition and modernization, their backstories reflecting the complex challenges of contemporary life. Shane, for instance, embodies the struggles of mental health and the dehumanizing effects of corporate employment. His unsatisfying job at Joja Mart, coupled with his battle with depression and alcoholism, paints a grim picture of modern alienation. Yet, his journey towards healing, often facilitated by the player's friendship and his eventual connection with his beloved chickens, represents a yearning for simpler, more fulfilling pursuits, a subtle return to the traditional agrarian roots of the valley. Sam, the aspiring musician, dreams of escaping Pelican Town for the vibrant opportunities of the city, a clear pull towards modernization. However, his strong family ties and deep friendships keep him grounded, illustrating the constant tension between personal ambition and community loyalty. Abigail, with her purple hair, love for the occult, and adventurous spirit, often feels out of place in the quiet town. Her desire for excitement and meaning beyond the mundane can be seen as a rejection of traditional expectations, yet her deep connection to the valley's mysteries and her family roots keep her intertwined with its unique character. Finally, some characters directly embody the effects of modernization. Morris, the manager of Joja Mart, is the unapologetic face of corporate expansion, believing wholeheartedly in the efficiency and progress that Joja brings, even if it means dismantling traditional ways of life. His presence is a constant reminder of the external forces threatening the valley's unique identity. And then there is Kent, whose return from the Gotoro-Empire War brings the harsh realities of a modern, militarized world directly into the peaceful valley. His PTSD and difficulty readjusting to civilian life serve as a stark reminder that even seemingly distant conflicts can profoundly disrupt the tranquility of traditional communities. These individual narratives, rich with personal detail and emotional depth, collectively weave a powerful tapestry. They demonstrate that Stardew Valley is not just a charming farming simulator, but a nuanced exploration of universal themes: the enduring power of tradition, the relentless march of modernization, and the resilience of the human spirit in navigating these complex forces. Each character's story adds another layer to the valley's profound lore, making it a place that resonates far beyond its pixelated boundaries. We have journeyed through the ancient myths that birthed Stardew Valley, delved into the subterranean mysteries that lie beneath its surface, explored the magical forces that animate its landscapes, and examined the modern conflicts and personal histories that define its present. What emerges is a portrait of a world far more intricate and profound than its charming exterior suggests. Stardew Valley is a masterclass in subtle world-building. Its lore is not delivered through lengthy cutscenes or explicit exposition, but woven into the very fabric of its gameplay, its environment, and the lives of its characters. From the cosmic creation story of Yoba to the thousand-year war between Dwarves and Shadow People, from the benevolent magic of the Junimos to the corporate struggle for Pelican Town's soul, every element contributes to a rich, interconnected narrative. The game's brilliance lies in its ability to balance cozy, engaging gameplay with deep, thought-provoking themes. It allows us to escape into an idyllic rural fantasy while simultaneously prompting reflection on real-world issues, the impact of industrialization, the importance of community, the echoes of history, and the enduring power of nature and magic. It reminds us that even in the simplest of lives, profound stories are unfolding. So, the next time you find yourself tilling the soil, fishing in the river, or chatting with a villager in Stardew Valley, remember the layers of history and mystery that lie beneath. Look closer, listen carefully, and you might just uncover even more of the hidden depths of this extraordinary world. The valley is waiting, its stories ready to be discovered. Stardew Valley, while seemingly isolated, is undeniably part of a larger, unseen world. The very premise of the game, escaping the corporate grind of Joja Corporation, hints at a sprawling, industrialized society beyond Pelican Town. The player character's past life, filled with cubicles and fluorescent lights, stands in stark contrast to the rustic charm of the valley, emphasizing the pervasive reach of modern civilization. Beyond the personal narrative, the ongoing war between the Ferngill Republic and the Gotoro Empire serves as a constant, albeit distant, reminder of global politics and conflicts. Characters like Kent, scarred by his military service, bring the harsh realities of this wider world directly into the valley. His experiences highlight that even in this peaceful haven, the repercussions of external events can deeply affect individual lives and the community as a whole. The Gem Sea, mentioned as separating the Ferngill Republic from the Gotoro Empire, further emphasizes the geographical scale of this world, suggesting continents and nations beyond the player's immediate view. Furthermore, various in-game items and dialogue snippets allude to places and cultures beyond the valley. Exotic goods sold by the traveling cart, references to distant cities, and the diverse backgrounds of certain characters, like the wizard's implied travels or Krobus's unique language, paint a picture of a rich and varied world. Even the presence of the Calico Desert, accessible only after repairing the bus, expands the geographical scope, introducing new biomes, resources, and a distinct cultural influence with the presence of Sandy and the desert trader. This wider world provides crucial context for the valley's unique identity. It underscores Pelican Town's role as a sanctuary, a deliberate retreat from the pressures and complexities of modern life. The player's decision to move to the valley is not just a personal choice, but a symbolic act of rejecting the values of the larger world in favor of a simpler, more community-oriented existence. The contrast between the valley's tranquility and the implied chaos beyond its borders enhances its appeal and reinforces its thematic significance as a haven of tradition and nature amidst a rapidly modernizing world. Venturing into the mines and Skull Cavern reveals another fascinating layer of Stardew Valley's lore. Its vibrant and often dangerous monster ecology and the organization dedicated to managing it, the Adventurers Guild. Led by the gruff but well-meaning Marlin and his one-armed assistant Gil, the guild serves as a crucial intermediary between the peaceful valley residents and the creatures that lurk beneath the surface. The existence of the Adventurers Guild implies a long-standing history of interaction and often conflict between humans and monsters. It suggests that these creatures are not merely random obstacles, but integral parts of the valley's ecosystem, with their own behaviors, habitats, and even a form of societal structure, as seen with the various types of slimes, bats, and other subterranean dwellers. The guild's role is not just to eliminate threats, but to manage the monster population, ensuring the safety of miners and explorers while perhaps maintaining a delicate balance within the ecosystem. Marlin himself is a seasoned adventurer, his missing arm a testament to the dangers he has faced. His shop within the guild offers weapons, armor, and monster-slaying bounties, providing a tangible link between the player's combat activities and the broader lore of monster hunting. The Monster Compendium, which tracks the number of each monster type slain, further emphasizes the systematic approach the guild takes to understanding and controlling the monster population. The ecology of the monsters themselves is diverse. Slimes, for instance, come in various colors and exhibit different behaviors, hinting at a complex internal hierarchy or environmental adaptations. Bats, bugs, and rock crabs populate different levels of the mines, suggesting distinct ecological niches. The presence of unique, more powerful monsters in the Skull Cavern, such as the serpent and the mummy, indicates a deeper, more ancient and perhaps more dangerous ecosystem further underground. This aspect of the lore adds a layer of action and danger to the otherwise serene farming life. It highlights that the valley, while idyllic, is not without its perils, and that a dedicated group of individuals is necessary to maintain the fragile peace. The Adventurers Guild and the monster ecology serve as a reminder that even in a seemingly simple world, there are complex systems at play, and that heroism, even in a quiet valley, is sometimes necessary. Despite its rich and detailed lore, Stardew Valley leaves many questions tantalizingly unanswered, inviting players to speculate and imagine. This deliberate ambiguity is a strength, fostering a vibrant community of theorists and adding to the game's enduring mystique. These unanswered questions often touch upon the deepest mysteries of the valley, hinting at narratives yet to be fully explored. One of the most prominent, lingering questions revolves around the true nature of the Junimos. While their role in restoring the community center is clear, their origins, their lifespan, and their ultimate purpose remain largely unknown. Are they truly benevolent, or do they serve a larger, unseen, magical agenda? Their connection to ancient magic is undeniable, but the specifics of that connection are left to the player's imagination. Similarly, the full history of the elemental wars between the Dwarves and the Shadow People is only glimpsed through fragmented accounts. What truly started the conflict? Were there other factions involved? And what would a lasting peace between these two ancient races look like? The animosity between the dwarf and Krobus, while a powerful narrative, leaves room for a future where their peoples might reconcile, perhaps even with the player's intervention. The broader geopolitical landscape also presents many unknowns. What is the current state of the war between the Ferngill Republic and the Gotoro Empire? How does it truly impact the wider world? And could its resolution ever directly affect Pelican Town? The player's grandfather's past, his connection to the valley, and the precise reasons for his departure from the corporate world are also left vague, allowing for personal interpretation and adding a layer of mystery to the player's own lineage. Even the valley's magical elements, while present, are not fully explained. The wizard's powers, the witch's curses, and the various magical creatures encountered hint at a complex magical system that is only partially revealed. Could there be other magical beings or hidden magical locations yet to be discovered? The game's continuous updates, such as the addition of Ginger Island, demonstrate that the world of Stardew Valley is still expanding, offering the potential for new lore and answers to some of these long-standing questions. These unanswered questions are not weaknesses, but rather invitations. They encourage players to engage with the world on a deeper level, to weave their own narratives, and to participate in the ongoing evolution of Stardew Valley's lore. They ensure that even after hundreds of hours of gameplay, the Valley retains its sense of wonder and its capacity to surprise, making it a truly living and breathing world. Expanding on the mythology of Yoba, it's crucial to consider the broader implications of a creation deity who is not an anthropomorphic figure, but rather a force of nature. This abstract representation allows for a more universal interpretation of divinity, one that resonates with the agrarian lifestyle of Stardew Valley. Yoba's influence isn't limited to grand miracles. It's seen in the subtle unfolding of life, the germination of seeds, the flow of water, and the very breath of the wind. This omnipresence suggests a pantheistic view where the divine is inherent in all things, making every act of farming, every interaction with nature, a form of worship or connection to Yoba. The Book of Yoba itself, a rare find, underscores the idea that ancient knowledge is often fragmented and requires effort to uncover. Its presence in the museum, a place of preservation and study, highlights the importance of understanding the past to comprehend the present. The act of donating it is not just a game mechanic, but a symbolic gesture of contributing to the collective knowledge and spiritual well-being of the community. The 11 days mentioned in the creation myth can also be seen as a metaphor for the cyclical nature of time and growth, a concept deeply embedded in farming and the changing seasons of the valley. This cyclical understanding of time, as opposed to a linear progression, reinforces the idea of renewal and rebirth, aligning with the game's themes of starting anew and revitalizing the farm. Furthermore, the Shrine of Yoba in Pierre's general store serves as a tangible link between the ancient mythology and contemporary life. It's a quiet space for reflection, a place where villagers can connect with their spiritual heritage amidst the mundane tasks of daily life. The fact that it's located within a general store, a place of commerce and everyday needs, subtly blends the sacred with the secular, suggesting that spirituality is not confined to grand temples, but is an integral part of daily existence. The Yoba's ring, as a protective item, further solidifies Yoba's role as a benevolent guardian, not just of the world's creation, but of its inhabitants. This protection extends beyond physical harm, hinting at a spiritual safeguard against unseen forces or negative influences, reinforcing the idea of Yoba as a constant, watchful presence in the valley. Delving deeper into the Gotoro Empire vs. Ferngill Republic War, it becomes clear that this conflict is more than just a distant geopolitical event. It is a pervasive undercurrent that subtly shapes the lives and perspectives of Pelican Town's residents. The war's impact is not always overt, but its psychological and social ramifications are undeniable. The constant threat, even if far removed, fosters a sense of isolation and self-reliance within the valley, reinforcing its role as a sanctuary from external turmoil. Kent's character is the most direct and harrowing embodiment of this conflict. His struggles with PTSD are not merely a character quirk, but a profound commentary on the unseen costs of war. His aversion to certain foods, his jumpiness, and his difficulty reintegrating into civilian life paint a realistic picture of trauma. This makes the war tangible and personal, transforming it from an abstract concept into a lived experience for the player through their interactions with Kent. His story serves as a powerful reminder that even in a seemingly idyllic setting, the scars of global conflict can run deep, affecting not just soldiers, but their families and communities. The subtle hints about the war's broader implications extend beyond Kent. Dialogue from other characters occasionally references the conflict, suggesting a general awareness and concern among the populace. The very existence of the Joja Corporation, with its emphasis on efficiency and mass production, can be seen as a response to wartime demands or a reflection of a society geared towards industrial output, potentially for military purposes. This adds a layer of economic and social commentary, implying that even the valley's economic landscape is indirectly influenced by the distant war. Furthermore, the war fuels various fan theories that explore the darker possibilities of Stardew Valley's world. The idea that the valley might be a post-war refuge, or that the player character is escaping a world irrevocably altered by conflict, adds a layer of melancholy and urgency to the game's premise. These theories, while speculative, highlight the depth of the lore and the way it encourages players to engage with the narrative on a more profound level. The war, therefore, is not just a historical event, but a continuous force, shaping individual destinies and influencing the very atmosphere of the valley, making its peace all the more precious and fragile. Expanding on the pre-civilization era, the artifacts housed in the Pelican Town Museum are not merely curiosities. They are the fragmented echoes of sophisticated societies that once thrived in the valley. Each donated item, meticulously cataloged by Gunther, contributes to a mosaic of a past far richer and more complex than initially perceived. The ancient seed, for instance, is more than just a relic of early agriculture. It suggests a profound, almost spiritual connection between these early inhabitants and the land's fertility. This deep understanding of natural cycles, perhaps even a form of proto-druidism, would have been essential for survival and prosperity in a world without modern farming techniques. The discovery of such a seed implies a legacy of sustainable practices, a stark contrast to the industrial farming methods that the player character is escaping. The ancient sword and ancient drum are equally telling. They speak of societies with structured defense mechanisms and a vibrant cultural life. The sword suggests a need for protection, perhaps from rival tribes, wild beasts, or even early encounters with subterranean creatures. The drum, on the other hand, points to communal rituals, storytelling, and celebrations, the very fabric of social cohesion. These artifacts, when viewed together, paint a picture of a balanced society, capable of both conflict and artistic expression. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of this era is the evidence of maritime activity. The ancient anchor and other sea-related artifacts, found far inland, suggest either a dramatically different coastline in the distant past or extensive trade networks that reach the valley. This opens up fascinating possibilities. Were these early peoples skilled navigators? Did they interact with other civilizations across the Gem Sea, perhaps even those that would later form the Gotoro Empire or the Ferngill Republic? The presence of such artifacts challenges the notion of the valley as an isolated pocket of civilization, hinting at a dynamic and interconnected ancient world. Furthermore, the advanced dwarven technology, such as the dwarvish gadget and the dwarvish computer, found alongside these human-like artifacts, raises questions about potential interactions between these distinct civilizations. Was there trade, conflict, or perhaps a period of peaceful coexistence and technological exchange? The lack of explicit historical records forces us to speculate, but the material evidence strongly suggests a complex interplay between different intelligent species in the valley's deep past. This era, shrouded in mystery, serves as a foundational layer for all subsequent lore, demonstrating that the valley has always been a crucible of life, culture, and hidden histories, waiting to be unearthed and understood. Further exploring the dwarf civilization theory, the idea of the dwarves as extraterrestrial beings offers a compelling explanation for their unique characteristics and advanced technology. Their physiology, often described as robust and resilient, could be an adaptation to the harsh conditions of space travel or a different planetary environment. The advanced artifacts found in the mines, such as the dwarvish gadget and the speculated dwarvish computer, are not merely relics, but fragments of a highly sophisticated civilization, far beyond the technological capabilities of the Ferngill Republic. This technological disparity suggests an origin outside of the known world, reinforcing the extraterrestrial hypothesis. The crash landing scenario provides a dramatic and plausible reason for their subterranean existence. Forced to adapt to a world without sunlight, their senses would have evolved to navigate in darkness, and their reliance on technology would have intensified. The vast network of mines, rich in minerals, would have become their new home and a source of materials for repairing or maintaining their advanced devices. This forced adaptation would have shaped their culture, making them reclusive and fiercely protective of their remaining technology and resources. Their isolation is not merely a preference, but a necessity for survival in a foreign world. This theory also adds a fascinating dimension to their conflict with the Shadow People. If the dwarves are indeed aliens, their war with the native subterranean inhabitants takes on a new meaning, a struggle between an advanced, displaced civilization and the indigenous population over control of the underground. This conflict would have been driven not just by territorial disputes, but by fundamental differences in their understanding of the world and their respective needs for survival. The dwarfs' deep-seated knowledge of the Earth's core, hinted at in their dialogue, and the properties of their artifacts, could be a remnant of their original planetary science, or a skill developed to harness geothermal energy for their technology. Moreover, the solitary nature of the dwarf encountered in the mines could be a poignant reflection of a dying civilization, a last remnant of a once thriving alien colony. Their reclusive behavior and reluctance to engage with surface dwellers could stem from a desire to protect their remaining secrets or a profound sense of loss and displacement. The player's ability to learn their language and build a relationship with the dwarf becomes a symbolic act of bridging not just cultural divides, but potentially interstellar ones, offering a glimmer of hope for a species that has endured millennia of isolation and conflict. This theory transforms the dwarves from mere fantasy creatures into a tragic, yet resilient, alien race, adding a layer of cosmic mystery to the valley's lore. Expanding on the Dwarf Shadow People War, also known as the Elemental Wars, it's crucial to understand the profound and lasting impact this millennia-long conflict has had on the subterranean landscape and its inhabitants. The war was not merely a series of skirmishes, but a cataclysmic struggle that reshaped the very geology of the mines and Skull Cavern. The presence of various elemental monsters throughout these areas, from the fiery magma sprites to the icy frost bats, suggests that the conflict involved not just physical combat, but also the manipulation of powerful elemental forces, perhaps even magical weapons of mass destruction that altered the environment itself. The conflicting narratives from the dwarf and Krobus are central to understanding the war's complexity. Each side presents a compelling yet biased account of aggression and victimhood. The dwarf speaks of being driven from ancestral homes, implying a history of displacement and loss. Krobus, conversely, asserts that the dwarves were the aggressors, attempting to colonize or exploit the Shadow People's territory. This historical revisionism, where each side views itself as the wronged party, is a powerful commentary on real-world conflicts and the difficulty of achieving true reconciliation when historical grievances run so deep. The player's unique position as an outsider, capable of befriending both, highlights the potential for breaking cycles of animosity. The lasting implications of this war are evident in the deep-seated animosity between the dwarf and Krobus. Despite the passage of centuries, their peoples remain estranged, their interactions limited to wary glances and terse exchanges. The player, however, has the unique opportunity to bridge this ancient divide by fostering friendship with both characters, symbolizing the potential for reconciliation and understanding even after millennia of conflict. This ancient war serves as a powerful reminder that even in a world of magic and fantasy, the echoes of historical grievances can resonate for generations, shaping relationships and landscapes. Expanding on the mining history of Stardew Valley, the act of delving into the mines and Skull Cavern is not merely a quest for resources. It is a journey through geological time and historical strata. Each pickaxe swing unearths not just ore and gems, but fragments of a narrative that spans millennia. The very composition of the rock, the types of minerals found at different depths, and the evolution of the monster ecosystem within the mines all contribute to a comprehensive understanding of the valley's subterranean past. The geological formations within the mines tell a story of immense pressure and ancient volcanic activity, suggesting a dynamic Earth that has shaped and reshaped itself over eons. The presence of specific biomes within the mines, such as the frozen levels or the lava-filled areas, indicates distinct geological periods or magical influences that have left their mark. These environmental variations are not random. They are a testament to the complex interplay of natural forces and perhaps even the residual energies from the elemental wars. The discovery of ancient tools and relics, particularly those associated with the dwarves and the pre-civilization era, directly links the player's mining activities to the historical narratives of these forgotten civilizations. The occasional finding of a dwarvish scroll or a prehistoric tool serves as a tangible connection to the beings who once traversed these very tunnels. These artifacts are not just museum pieces. They are breadcrumbs leading to a deeper understanding of the valley's origins and the lives of its earliest inhabitants. Furthermore, the constant presence of monsters within the mines implies a long-standing and complex ecosystem. These creatures are not just obstacles, they are integral parts of the subterranean environment, adapted to its unique conditions. Their varied behaviors and resistances suggest a natural selection process, perhaps even influenced by the magical and technological energies unleashed during the elemental wars. The Adventurers Guild, with its bounties and monster compendium, acknowledges this ecosystem, suggesting a pragmatic approach to managing the dangers of the mines, rather than simply eradicating them. This highlights a delicate balance between human exploration and the preservation of subterranean life. The mining process itself, with its inherent risks and rewards, mirrors the struggles of these ancient peoples. The need to overcome obstacles, to extract valuable resources, and to contend with dangerous inhabitants reflects the challenges faced by the Dwarves and Shadow People in their quest for survival and dominance underground. The player's journey through the mines is, in essence, a reenactment of these ancient struggles, a symbolic continuation of the valley's long and arduous mining history. It underscores the idea that the resources extracted from the earth are not merely commodities, but tangible links to a rich and often tumultuous past, a constant reminder of the deep history beneath our feet. Expanding on the Junimo origins and true nature, these elusive forest spirits are more than just cute helpers. They are deeply intertwined with the very life force of Stardew Valley. Their apple-like appearance and connection to the community center, a symbol of growth and renewal, reinforce their role as benevolent nature spirits. The fact that they only appear to those with a pure heart or a strong connection to nature, like the player and the wizard, suggests a form of spiritual discernment, indicating that their magic is not merely a tool, but a reflection of the valley's inherent purity and balance. The Junimo's ability to restore the community center is a pivotal moment in the game, signifying a magical healing of the land and its community. This act of restoration goes beyond mere physical repair. It is a spiritual revitalization, breathing new life into a neglected space. The bundles they require for restoration are not arbitrary. They represent the bounty of the valley, its crops, its fish, its foraging, and its mining resources. This interdependence highlights the Junimo's role as custodians of the valley's natural cycles, emphasizing that their magic is fueled by the harmonious interaction between the land and its inhabitants. Their presence in the witch's hut, a place of ancient and often dark magic, is particularly intriguing. The Junimo statue found there hints at a deeper, more complex history, suggesting that these spirits have been present in the valley for a very long time, perhaps even predating the current magical practitioners. This connection raises questions about the full spectrum of their abilities and their potential involvement in past magical events. Furthermore, their willingness to build Junimo huts on the player's farm and assist with harvesting crops demonstrates their industrious nature and their commitment to fostering growth and abundance. This partnership between player and Junimo symbolizes a return to a more harmonious relationship with nature, where magic and agriculture work hand in hand for the prosperity of the valley. The Junimos, therefore, are not just magical creatures. They are living embodiments of the valley's magical essence, guiding its growth and reminding its inhabitants of the profound connection between nature, magic, and community. Expanding on the wizard's role, Asmodeus is not merely a reclusive magic user. He is a pivotal figure in understanding the magical ecosystem of Stardew Valley. His tower, nestled deep within the Cindersap forest, acts as a nexus for arcane energies, a place where the veil between the mundane and the mystical is thinnest. His vast knowledge encompasses not only practical spells and enchantments, but also the intricate history of magic in the valley, making him an invaluable, albeit often cryptic, source of lore. The wizard's connection to the Junimos is particularly significant. His ability to understand their language and facilitate their work in the community center highlights his deep attunement to the valley's ancient magic. This suggests that his power is not solely derived from books or personal study, but from a profound, almost symbiotic relationship with the land itself. He acts as a bridge between the human world and the spirit world, guiding the player to understand and interact with these ethereal beings. His tumultuous past with the witch adds a layer of personal drama and complexity to his character. Their shared history, hinted at through various in-game events and dialogue, suggests a powerful magical partnership that went awry. This relationship and its fallout could be responsible for some of the more volatile magical phenomena in the valley, such as the appearance of strange creatures or cursed items. The popular fan theory regarding Abigail's parentage further intertwines his personal life with the broader magical narrative, suggesting that magical lineage is not uncommon in Stardew Valley and that powerful magical abilities can be inherited. Beyond his personal connections, the wizard's role as a guardian of magical balance is paramount. He provides the player with access to the witch's hut, allowing them to engage with darker magical elements, but always with a sense of caution and responsibility. He teaches the player about magical essences and how to utilize them, subtly guiding them towards a deeper understanding of the valley's mystical forces. His constant research and experimentation, often leading to new magical discoveries or insights, position him as a living repository of arcane knowledge, ensuring that the ancient magic of Stardew Valley continues to evolve and reveal its secrets to those who are worthy. Expanding on Krobus and the Shadow People, their presence in Stardew Valley offers a profound commentary on prejudice, acceptance, and the complexities of interspecies relations. Krobus, the solitary shadow person residing in the sewers, is a character designed to challenge the player's preconceived notions about the monstrous inhabitants of the mines. His gentle demeanor, articulate speech, and desire for friendship stand in stark contrast to the aggressive shadow brutes encountered elsewhere, forcing a re-evaluation of the entire Shadow People race.
Krobus's unique position as an outcast from his own kind, yet also separated from surface dwellers, highlights the pervasive nature of the ancient conflict with the dwarves. His willingness to share his perspective on the elemental wars, asserting that the dwarves were the aggressors, provides a crucial counter-narrative to the dwarfs' account. This deliberate ambiguity in historical truth forces the player to consider the subjective nature of history and the biases inherent in any conflict. It's a powerful lesson in empathy, encouraging players to look beyond superficial appearances and inherited animosities. The Shadow People's society, as hinted at through Krobus's dialogue, is one deeply connected to the darkness and the subterranean environment. Their sensitivity to light explains their reclusive nature and their preference for the deep mines and sewers. This adaptation suggests a long history of living in harmony with the Earth's hidden places, developing unique senses and perhaps even a distinct culture shaped by their environment. The various types of shadow people encountered in the mines, from the basic shadow brutes to the more powerful shadow shamans, suggest a hierarchical or specialized society with different roles and abilities. Krobus's decision to live in the sewers, a liminal space between the surface and the deep underground, symbolizes his desire for peace and his rejection of the ongoing conflict. His shop, offering rare and unique items, serves as a bridge between these two worlds, providing resources that are otherwise difficult to obtain. The ultimate act of acceptance comes when the player can invite Krobus to be their roommate, a groundbreaking moment that transcends species boundaries and offers a vision of true coexistence. This relationship is a powerful narrative device, demonstrating that understanding and friendship can overcome centuries of prejudice and conflict, making Krobus a beacon of hope and a symbol of the valley's potential for harmony. Expanding further on the Junimo origins and true nature, their role as nature spirits is not merely passive. They are active participants in maintaining the valley's ecological and magical balance. Their apple-like form, often associated with harvest and fertility, reinforces their connection to the land's bounty. The fact that they are only visible to those with a deep spiritual connection, such as the player, after consuming certain magical items, or the wizard, suggests a higher plane of existence, or a subtle magical frequency that most ordinary villagers cannot perceive. This exclusivity adds to their mystique and underscores the idea that the valley holds hidden layers of reality. The Junimo's restoration of the community center is perhaps their most significant act, transforming a dilapidated building into a vibrant hub. This act is not just about physical repair, it's a profound magical ritual that revitalizes the community's spirit. The bundles they request for restoration are symbolic, representing the harmonious relationship between human endeavor and natural abundance. By gathering these items, the player participates in a reciprocal exchange with nature, fostering a sense of stewardship and interconnectedness. The Junimos, in turn, respond to this effort by infusing the center with their magic, making it a place where community bonds can flourish once more. This process highlights the Junimos as facilitators of harmony, bridging the gap between the natural world and human society. Their presence in the witch's hut, a place often associated with darker magic,
raises intriguing questions about the full spectrum of their magical affiliations. While generally benevolent, their connection to a figure like the witch suggests a more ancient and perhaps morally ambiguous past. Were they once allied with darker forces? Or do they simply exist beyond conventional notions of good and evil, serving a higher purpose of maintaining balance? Their ability to construct Junimo huts on the player's farm, allowing them to assist with harvests, further demonstrates their industrious nature and their willingness to cooperate with those who respect the land. This partnership is a testament to the potential for magical beings and humans to coexist and thrive, working together for mutual benefit. The Junimos, in their quiet, industrious way, are the unsung heroes of Stardew Valley, embodying the valley's magical heart and its enduring capacity for renewal. Further delving into the wizard's role, Rasmodius is not merely a reclusive magic user. He is a pivotal figure in understanding the magical ecosystem of Stardew Valley. His tower, nestled deep within the Cindersap forest, acts as a nexus for arcane energies, a place where the veil between the mundane and the mystical is thinnest. His vast knowledge encompasses not only practical spells and enchantments, but also the intricate history of magic in the valley, making him an invaluable, albeit often cryptic, source of lore. The wizard's connection to the Junimos is particularly significant. His ability to understand their language and facilitate their work in the community center highlights his deep attunement to the valley's ancient magic. This suggests that his power is not solely derived from books or personal study, but from a profound, almost symbiotic relationship with the land itself. He acts as a bridge between the human world and the spirit world, guiding the player to understand and interact with these ethereal beings.
Finally, the ultimate fate of the valley itself remains an open question. Will the balance between tradition and modernization eventually tip in favor of corporate interests? Or will the community spirit, revitalized by the player, endure? The game offers a hopeful narrative, but the underlying tensions remain, suggesting that the struggle for the valley's soul is an ongoing process. These unanswered questions and the potential for future lore expansions ensure that Stardew Valley remains a living, breathing world, constantly evolving and inviting players to continue their journey of discovery, speculation, and imaginative engagement. Expanding even further on the unanswered questions, the very nature of the curse that afflicts the community center prior to its restoration remains a subject of much speculation. Is it merely a metaphorical curse of neglect and corporate influence? Or is there a more literal magical affliction at play? The Junimo's involvement suggests a magical dimension, implying that the valley's spiritual health is directly tied to the well-being of its communal spaces. This raises questions about ancient magical protections or blessings that might have been tied to the community center, which then withered as the building fell into disrepair. The player's act of restoration, therefore, becomes a form of magical cleansing, restoring not just the physical structure, but also its inherent magical properties. Another intriguing mystery surrounds the true identity and purpose of the various secret notes found throughout the game. These notes, often cryptic and leading to hidden treasures or lore snippets, suggest a network of hidden knowledge and perhaps even a secret society operating within the valley. Who wrote these notes? Are they from a single individual or a collective? Do they serve a larger purpose beyond guiding the player to hidden items? The existence of such hidden information implies that the valley holds many more secrets than are immediately apparent, and that a deeper understanding of its lore requires a keen eye for detail and a willingness to explore beyond the obvious. The origins of the various monster eradication goals set by the Adventurers Guild also present an interesting area for speculation. While some monsters are clearly native to the mines, others, like the Pepper Rex on Ginger Island, suggest a wider, more diverse monster ecosystem.
Are these monsters simply wild animals, or are some of them magically created or influenced? The fact that the guild actively manages their populations implies a long-standing understanding of their behavior and their potential threat to the valley. This raises questions about past monster outbreaks or conflicts that might have necessitated the formation of such a guild, hinting at a more tumultuous history of human-monster interaction than is immediately apparent. Finally, the ultimate fate of the valley's magic itself remains an open-ended question. As the player progresses, they gain access to more powerful magical tools and abilities, and the valley itself seems to respond to their efforts. Does this mean that the valley's magic is being revitalized, or is it simply being harnessed by the player? Will the magic eventually return to its former glory? Or will it continue to be a subtle, hidden force? These questions, and many others, ensure that Stardew Valley remains a living, breathing world, constantly evolving and inviting players to continue their journey of discovery, speculation, and imaginative engagement, ensuring that its lore will continue to be explored and debated for years to come.